6 minutes after 9 o'clock, Carol Ann Baldwin is here to talk to you about your garden. And the number to call is 622-9622 if you'd like to be on the air. Carol Ann does this on a voluntary basis, comes in here on her own time or her own dime, and shares with us her expertise on your lawns, your gardens, and today's couple special treats.
Yeah.
Robin took the bananas. Good morning, Carol Ann, first of all.
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning. Good. And how are you, first of all?
I'm doing good. And I know a lot of the listeners, I didn't share it ahead of time because I don't like to make a big deal over it, but a few of the listeners are also personal friends of mine or have seen it on Facebook. I had gallbladder surgery last week, and all is going well.
Which is considered major surgery.
It's major surgery, but now they do it endoscopically, laparoscopically, whatever, 3 holes.
Yeah, it's still major.
You know, it's still major. It still kicks your butt.
Yeah,
it still kicks your butt. I'm doing well though. A little slow. Moving. Got to get it all back. I still don't want to sneeze. I do not want to cough. That hurts a whole lot and way down deep inside. Yeah.
So between last week and today, you had major surgery, but you're here today.
Yeah, I had surgery last Wednesday.
That's just amazing.
So a week ago. So tomorrow, hopefully, I will be released to drive and start to. I'm starting to try to get back to this stuff. My husband dropped me off.
Where is he?
He's got to go run a couple errands. He's got the radio on in the car.
Oh my gosh! I've never met him.
No,
he can come in here.
He's going to go run a couple errands, and that way, when he picks me up, I can do the errand I need to do and be able to go home.
So we were very excited because we took the banana. First of all, the bananas in the paper bag with the apple did the trick. It really did ripen
real quick. Yeah.
Now the control group did have 1 or 2 that ripened.
That had ripened, right?
But the apple really speeds up the process.
Speed up the other.
So Robin took all of the bananas except for one, which already had mold on it. So that one went bad. Yeah. And she made banana bread.
Cool.
Can I show it? Let me show the camera. Yeah,
okay.
You want to do it? Okay.
There you go.
There's the banana bread Robin made.
So we're going to sample banana bread.
There it is. And so we're going to sample in the course of this show. So.
Right.
So what grew in my yard is now going to be bread.
Yep, there you go.
Made into bread.
And without a whole lot. And I mean, this was something that you don't work at. Unlike a lot of gardeners, right? Yeah, a lot of gardeners and vegetable gardeners, people grow things to eat. Generally, work at it, but you've been blessed with some. When you moved when you moved onto this place, it had a couple banana trees that have produced bananas for you. And so it's one of those kind of neat things.
All right, we do have the phone ringing, so let me answer the phone a few times and get on with the show. Good morning, you're on there with Carol Ann.
Hi, Carol Ann. Hi, Larry. Hi, Robin. This is Kathy.
Hey.
I just have a real simple question for Carol Ann. Can a Norfolk pine be planted successfully here?
Personally, I wouldn't recommend it. I know people do it. Norfolk Island is not an island off of Virginia. It's an island off of New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
So cold hardiness is not necessarily that great for it. It may acclimate. They are big trees. So if it decides to die, you have an 80-foot tall tree to remove.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
so, they get to be a very large tree. Most people I know, they buy them small, at Christmas time, keep them, pot them up, every couple of years into a larger pot till they begin to get too big. And then basically, if it's just too large, once they start getting up over 8 feet or something that it can't reside on the patio in the lanai, something like that, they get rid of them and start over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to know because I only have seen one. There's one on 7th Street, on Northeast 7th Street. It's right in the front yard, and that's the only one I've really seen around. And I know they can grow like in Tampa and that area.
Right, and even then, it's not one of those kind of trees that's necessarily recommended for us. I mean, they're pretty cool trees. They're nice. They're attractive trees. But again, if they end up with a problem, you then have a very large tree.
Lovely.
That you have to deal with.
Thank you for the warning. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay. Mine's still in the pot, by the way.
And that's what. And I mean, you can get a lot of years. Pavida. You can get a lot of years out of those Norfolk Island pines too. If you got, say, one of the little quart ones, 1 year at Christmas time, and you can keep it. I wouldn't keep it necessarily in that same pot, but you could just step that into just a slightly larger pot. and probably keep it in there for almost a year. The more you keep it in a pot and you kind of stunt it,
Yeah.
it's going to keep it a little smaller. But usually when you see those really nice ones, and they will come in like a 2.5 gallon, maybe even 3 gallon pot, where there's a cluster of them and they're nice and full, and they may even have some sparkles on them when you buy them. You wouldn't want to plant that as a cluster anyway, because again, there's 4, 5, 6 trunks in there. That's not just a bush. That's 5 or 6 different plants. If you try to put that in the landscape, that's going to try to push them all away from each other, and they're just, to me, they're not a sturdy plant. I don't know if that's the same one down in West Palm or and places like that they call the New Zealand pine, which they're doing their best to eradicate because it's not native to the area and can be disruptive to the ecosystem. So,
Wow.
it's just not one I would recommend for the landscape.
All right, you do have a phone call waiting. Good
Great.
morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann. Thank you for waiting.
Yeah. Good morning. Listen, I have a 10-foot banana tree, and I want to move it 100 miles in my car. Can I cut it off and then transplant it and grow back? The leaves grow back.
You would have to dig out the root system for it to grow back.
Yeah, I mean that's what I.
You'd be digging up the corm underneath the ground. That what they call it actually with the banana. It's like a root mat out of the ground, and taking that, and it would whether or not that tree itself would come back or other ones would replace it.
Well, I mean, I was going to cut the leaves off to get it in my car, and and I was hoping it would. I plant it, then it would come back.
You were going to cut the stalk off at the ground and carry the stalk with you? No. That won't root again. You would have to dig out. You could cut it all the way to the ground, throw away the top.
It's in a big pot. I mean, I was going to pick it, but
just take a big pot. Okay.
I moved it in my car, and I was going to cut the leaves off.
Yeah, if the leaves get a little damaged, it's not going to hurt them. Even if you slam them in the car door or bend them over a little bit, I wouldn't cut it to where it's cut real bad. I mean, just because that's now you have a root zone, so you haven't really dug it up. If it's in a pot, yeah, go ahead. I mean, I wouldn't chop it off necessarily, because it'll be kind of messy too in the car because it's real wet. But yeah, I mean, you could trim that some and fit it in the car. If you cut the top off of it, it's going to try to force another leaf out, probably. Depending on how long you take, within days, it's going to start to try to put another leaf out.
Okay, the leaves, if I cut the leaves, they'll come back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Oh, you're
All right,
welcome. Yeah. Yeah, it took me a minute to understand that. I thought you were looking to cut it off and take it, but it was just to remove it's a potted banana, and he just wants to take those leaves off so that it fits in the car better. Sure. I mean, I wouldn't cut it all the way back to the soil level, just because that's gonna, it's a little hard on it,
So we were talking about my banana plant and how I am not a caregiver.
Right,
it just does its own thing. But there's a guy in my neighborhood who really seems to take a lot of care to make sure his banana plants are there.
Right.
And he's got a lot of them. And in the winter, they are basically dead. And he cuts them basically down to the ground.
Yeah.
And every year they come back. So
Right. And they will. I mean, I never used to cut them to the ground. I used to cut them at however high I could swing a machete. Because that's as high as I could cut them.
That's close. Don't do it right now with that wound in you.
But that would be the way I do. I know some people will cut them all the way down and get a tickle in my tickle in the throat there. But to me, I don't like to cut them all the way down because I'd like to give them a chance to have some size to them.
Yeah.
For that whole tropical look. But of course, like you say, I mean, they will come back up. And it may not even be the same one because when the banana gives its fruit, then it that tree itself is not going to fruit again. Another one will replace it.
The bananas that grow here are not pretty, but they taste pretty good.
Yep.
On the other side of the break, we're going to try the banana bread that Robin made from my bananas.
There we go.
All right,
Sounds like a deal.
We'll do that after the break. We'll come right back. Your phone calls are welcome. The number is 622-9622.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, times of sun and clouds. There can be a shower or thunderstorm around during the afternoon hours, high 87 to 91. For Tuesday night, a couple of thunderstorms around early, and partly to mostly cloudy skies later tonight with a thunderstorm in spots near the coast after midnight, low 74 to 76. For Wednesday, clouds and sun with a couple of thunderstorms around near the coast in the morning, then in the interior during the afternoon hours, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
What do I do now?
After 911, don't worry, call Fakuri. Fakuri Medical and Chiropractic, treating auto injuries for over 32 years. Same-day appointments, immediate medical attention, all under one roof. Don't worry, call Fakuri. Go to bestinjurycare.com. All auto insurances are accepted. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call. Car accident? Don't worry, call Fakuri. bestinjurycare.com.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
Yep, we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too.
Well, as a matter of fact, join me, Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Automotive, every Tuesday at 10 for auto repair with personal care right here on The Source.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online. Coming this and every second Friday of the month at 11 a.m. is Trinity Healthcare Medical Center with your host, Dr. David Kuhn. Trinity Healthcare Medical Center is Ocala's only progressive primary care clinic. Be sure to listen in and also check their website at thcmc.com. Then call them with your questions at 512-0000. That's 512-0000. That's every second Friday at 11 a.m. for Trinity Healthcare Medical Center here on The Source WOCA.
Here is your 30-second news brief. Tropical storm Don has formed in the Atlantic, but it is not a threat to Florida. A 4-year-old boy run over on Ormond Beach Sunday afternoon is still listed in serious condition. The largest ever healthcare fraud enforcement action has implicated over 115 doctors and other medical professionals for over $1.3 billion in false billings. And Gainesville police had to tase a man who drove his truck through the back of a Lowe's home improvement store and began using a circular saw to cut lumber. And that is your news brief from The Source. All right, 19 minutes after 9 o'clock. I'm just distracted by everything. Carol Ann, did you hear that story about the guy who was in Gainesville went into the Lowe's store?
I'm not real sure how he did that, except I've not been to that store. I mean, I when I worked up in those areas, through those stores, I was a vendor, so I wasn't privy to how those layouts were. But it's like, how do you do that? I mean, ours has chain link, covering back areas like that.
It said the plastic strips.
That's usually cover a roll-up door, that would be locked, or not. The plastic things like, over walk-in refrigerators and things like that. They keep the air conditioning into the building, and the weather out. But they, I'm not sure how we got back there. That was weird.
All right, so Robin took some of the bananas. How many bananas did you actually take, Robin? From my
8.
8 bananas.
8 bananas, because they are little bananas.
These are little tiny bananas, and she had a recipe from your grandma or something?
Yeah, from my 1974 cookbook.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And so now we're gonna try the bread that she made from those bananas. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, and it's beautiful loaf. So it's compliments to the cook.
What is the book that we gave you called?
The book that you brought in here, How to Grow More Vegetables and Fruits, Nuts, Berries, Grains, and Other Crops. And then there was an asterisk at vegetables, and the asterisk continues, than you ever thought possible on less land with less water than you can imagine. So I may have to get with the publicist on this and go, I want another copy because I want a copy to give away and one to keep.
I got you. Yeah.
I want one to keep and one to give away because this one looks like a good read.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
all right,
have to try to find.
So now it's always great to eat while you're on the air.
On the air,
it makes for good radio.
So well.
So and on top of that, I'm going to try to get a photo of you eating too.
Oh,
so.
No, yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that. She's in pain, and we're going to embarrass her at the same time. So Robin brought in some butter.
Even the butter.
She's from Wisconsin, so it has to be real butter.
Real whipped butter.
Oh wow! Look at the size of that piece. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, sure. I hope it's not dry. I've never made banana bread before. gosh.
Oh, really? Let's see.
I haven't. I've never made it before.
So
It's
one of us
probably
has to
not-
not eat, so I can talk. I'll talk.
Oh,
while
do you
while
talk while I nibble?
I'm trying to get a picture here. Okay. How is it?
That's good.
Pretty good.
Dry.
Is it dry? Robin?
No, it's good.
There you go. And can you taste the bananas? Can you see the bananas? I can't see the bananas in there.
No, bananas usually are they're
guess I
mushed
can.
up. They're
They're mashed up.
Yeah, they're mashed up
Yeah,
in
they're
there, so
mashed
it's not like a banana pudding. You know, where you've got lumpies of.
Lumpies of bananas. How come I can't get?
Very good.
Oh, come on. Oh, device will power off. Well, I think I got two of them on there anyway.
Yeah, he's got
I got two
dead
pictures
phone,
on
yeah.
there. So, anything we need to say, Robin, about the banana recipe? What's in it?
It's bananas and sugar and baking soda, baking powder, flour, and salt.
So, if you had made this without the bananas, what would it just be? Just cold bread?
Maybe.
Is it just bread? Oh, okay.
I have no clue.
Don't get your fingers there.
I have no clue.
No, well, the bananas give it. Yeah, I mean that's the bananas is what makes it banana bread. If you'd used pumpkin, it would have been a pumpkin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
guess you
or-
could substitute.
Joe, we need Joe to come in and try it.
And they said you could put in nuts and raisins. Or
Right, to make it, yeah.
cranberries, anything if you wanted, but I just left
We
it.
did have a little bit of a debate this
Naked.
morning about what to put on it: butter versus cream cheese. So
Butter works better, I think.
she's on our side, Robin.
Good, I'm glad.
Butter's good on everything. Yeah,
All right.
I'll put it out.
So that's pretty good. That grew
came
in
out very nice.
I'm
very
proud.
good.
That grew in my yard. Wow.
There you go.
But you eat things that grow in your yard all the time.
Well, those of us who grow vegetables and stuff, we do.
And you're a cook too. So do you make things like, or do you just do them like eat, like slice up an onion?
Well, I mean, it's you use the onions in whatever you're cooking. There's been a thing going around on Facebook of green bean, potatoes, and ham in a crock pot, and I'm going, why do you need to make that in a crock pot? That used to be. My daughter could attest to this going when it was green bean season. What's for dinner, Mom? Green beans, and it would be green beans, ham, potatoes, and onions, and which everything but the ham came out of the garden. Yeah, you'd
Where did the
fiddle
pig
around.
live?
The pig lived probably at that time when Dixie was.
All right, we do have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Carol Ann. Thank you for calling.
Good morning, Larry, Carol Ann.
Good morning.
Was that Linda that challenged me to a cook-off?
Oh,
With the crock pot?
Yes, I think it was Linda. Yes.
Okay, tell Linda I accept the challenge. We'll have a cook-off at WOCA.
Oh my God!
You are automatically disqualified as a judge because you discriminate. We'll have Robin, Joe, and Tish be the judge.
What are you cooking?
2 out of 3 win.
Roadkill?
Well, we can go either way you want to. We can go best roadkill, or we can go best and healthiest, best and tastiest. Which way you want to go?
There you go. I have no clue.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all have to get together and
I tell you
hash
what,
that
Larry,
out.
you pick the meat, and then we'll have the cook-off around that meat.
All right. Nathan's hot dog.
See
That's
who,
the meat.
see who can do it. See who can make it best.
All right. The meat is Nathan's hot dog.
Tacos? No, you can't make tacos out of a crock pot.
Hot dogs. Nathan's hot dogs.
We can do hot dogs.
There you go. That's what we want. Hot dogs. Nathan.
All right, that's what you
Nathan's
want.
hot
Hot dog in a crock pot.
Nathan's hot
Nathan's
dogs.
hot dogs. It has to be a specific
Nathan's
brand.
hot dogs in a crock pot.
That way,
Well,
actually,
just
you
'cause
also
think
have
Nathan's
the
are best
control.
doesn't mean that is necessarily so.
Thank you,
I might
Frank.
be able to find one better.
All right, you got it.
Or
Okay.
make one better.
Yeah, my mom would always say Hebrew national.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah, my mom would always. My mom and my son likes ballpark.
I like
Frank?
ballpark.
Yeah.
I like ballpark. Or the what are the ones sometimes besides the Nathans that are out on the hot dog trucks? Sabre.
Oh yeah.
Sabre, or
Yeah, whatever
however you
that's
pronounce
called.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty good too. Those are pretty good. Any hot dog that's got chili cheese and jalapenos on it, you can almost rock it that way. So long as it's not really cheapo
Do you think
ones.
that the companies that are famous for things make? Okay, how do I say this? Like KFC is famous for chicken.
Right.
So the best thing to get there is chicken. Taco Bell, the best thing to get there is a taco.
Well, that's usually what they. Yeah, I mean, it's.
In other words, their specialty.
Say something like McDonald's when they went to chicken.
Right.
Was kind of odd.
Wasn't as good as their hamburgers.
That's not what they're known for, though. Some people like it. Chick-fil-A. Now, if Chick-fil-A came out with a hamburger, I think I'm still going to get chicken from Chick-fil-A.
right.
You know, because it would be kind of sacrilege to eat the cow.
That's right.
But I mean, and it is. If you tried to go to a Chinese restaurant and order pizza, it's not going to work. It's.
Wait a minute. Have you ever had pizza in a Chinese restaurant? It's the worst pizza in the world.
I was going
It
to
is
say
worse.
it would have to be.
Oh my gosh, worse than Chuck E. Cheese. I guarantee.
wow.
Oh yeah.
It's
at
pretty,
the bottom.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's Chinese and pizza. Just no, it just doesn't quite go.
Well,
with
that
me.
was good. That bread was good.
Very good. Now, did you show what was left of the bananas? Because the ones in the bag.
Let me show it on the screen.
Were the ones that ripened up real quick and were able to be used. And of course, they were small, so that's why it took quite a few. Because I think she needed a couple cups.
She brought the cake. The bread away, but this is what's left on my plate of the.
Yeah, you're not eating very quickly, are you?
Well, it's hard to talk and eat.
No, just talk with your mouth full. Ignore your mother. But the little ones that were left over, most of those were not fully formed bananas. They were that smaller hand of bananas, so they just weren't quite ready to have been harvested anyway. So the bigger ones are what went into the cake or into the bread. But it was funny because even before we started this morning, you had made a mention. You called it something the bread from my backyard or something like that. And Robin made a comment. Wouldn't that be a wonderful title to a children's book? On gardening and backyard? And it'd make a great even like a little kid cookbook because you can do
I love that idea.
zucchini cupcakes. How do you turn a zucchini, the thing that kids are going to turn their nose up at, into a cupcake that they're not even going to know? Carrot cake. Here's your banana bread, banana nut bread, pumpkin bread. There's all kinds of different stuff that could be grown in the backyard and turned into the fun stuff or the yummier stuff versus just the dinner.
Yeah.
Because that's most kids don't think of it necessarily unless you watch like that MasterChef Junior of cooking to cook. They think of it cooking to make cupcakes or something. Something more.
This just.
I always hate to say more yummy because that's a different, more fun to cook.
I know this is bread, but it tastes healthier than like a cupcake would.
Oh yeah,
it just has a healthier feeling to it.
Right. Well, it's like a bran muffin would be. And you can make any of those taste nice as well.
We do have a phone call, and we might need to take part of it on this side and the other part on the other side of the break. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Larry, Robin, and everybody.
Carol Ann.
Carol, yes.
The other one.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Little fuzzball there got in the way. But Chiquita makes a banana bread mix, and what you have to do is add the bananas to it.
Ah, there you go.
It's not. I didn't see it only in one store, and you used to get it, and it came out really good every time we tried it.
Nice.
But if you want, I could tell you where we get it at.
Where do you get it?
Save a Lot. I go to the one on 200 there, past 80th, and anyway, that's where I found it.
Cool.
Really?
Chiquita banana bread mix.
All right, let's take the break.
All you got to do is add 1 or 2 bananas, and you're ready to go.
Sounds good. All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. President Trump taking to Twitter after the failed GOP plan to repeal and replace Obamacare, blasting Democrats and a few Republicans. The bill pulled after 2 more Republican senators said they'd vote no.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the Senate will move on to try and pass a version in 2015 that was vetoed by President Obama that simply repeals first with a 2-year delay to find a replacement.
Fox's Griff Jenkins in Minneapolis, a community demanding answers after a woman been shot to death by police. The Australian national called 911 to report a possible crime.
Our police forces are out of control.
40-year-old Justine DeMond to the Star Tribune, citing 3 sources. Reports approached the driver's side of the squad car and was talking to one officer, but she was shot through the window by the passenger officer.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso, Fox News. We report, you decide.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is in full swing.
Is your truck going to be able to handle all these pavers for the patio?
No problem. The F-150 has got a high-strength military-grade aluminum alloy body.
Oh. With best-in-class payload, the F-150 can handle the work you need it to.
Remember when I had a high-strength military-grade body?
I don't, actually.
It's always a good time. Take on summer right with Ford, America's best-selling brand, during the Ford Summer Sales Event. Hurry and get our hottest offers during the Ford Summer Sales Event, like 0% financing for 60 months on select Ford F-150s. Plus, get an additional $1,000 on top of your trade-in. Offer ends July 31st. Best-selling based on 2016 sales when properly equipped. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds. GVWR based on Ford segmentation. Not all buyers qualify for Ford credit financing. 60 months at $1,667 per month for $1,000 finance regardless of down payment. Trade assist cash requires trade-in of 95 or newer vehicle or lease terminated 30 days prior to or 90 days after new retail delivery. Not available on Raptor. See dealer or go to buyfordnow.com for complete details. Take new retail delivery from dealer stock by July 31st, 2017.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Although relationships do take work, it should not be the job of just one person to keep it afloat. Kickboxing provides a cardio workout that engages every muscle group in the body. It regulates our blood pressure, reducing feelings of anger. Most of us skip taking naps because we think they're a sign of laziness, but many studies have found that napping for as little as 10 minutes a day is proven to boost memory, creativity, and learning.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
If you or a loved one is suffering with knee, shoulder, neck, back pain, or tennis elbow and would like to learn how to get out of pain, go to Regenetic.com. Then listen in on the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. to the people that give you the regenerative medical solutions to your pain. Regenetic, first and third Thursdays, 10 a.m. here on WOCA 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source, Regenetic.com.
Langley Health Services, located at 7205 Southeast Merricamp Road in Ocala, is a federally qualified health center offering family practice, pediatrics, podiatry, dental, behavioral health, and radiology services. Most insurance accepted, sliding scale for those who qualify, and same-day appointments available until 4 p.m. with board-certified family practice and internal medicine physicians on staff. Langley Health Services, call today 352-680-7000.
What do I do now? After 911, don't worry, call Fakuri. Fakuri Medical and Chiropractic, treating auto injuries for over 32 years. Same-day appointments, immediate medical attention, all under one roof. Don't worry, call Fakuri. Go to bestinjurycare.com. All auto insurances are accepted. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to take your call. Car accident? Don't worry, call Fakuri. bestinjurycare.com.
Tired of looking at stained carpets, dirty tile, or grout? Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Make your flooring look great again. Stains, pet odors, allergies. Call Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. From serving our country to serving our community. Silverback Restoration, 414-5312. Residential and commercial. And now, 3 rooms for just $99. Check their website, silverbackrestoration.com.
Hello, I'm Dr. Nicole Snyder, chiropractor with Strive Health and Rehabilitation. I have some exciting news. My next free presentation for my Tuesday Talk with the Doc series is Tuesday, July 18th from 5:30 to 6:30. It's titled Nourish, 25 self-healing foods we call the strengtheners. For more information, call 352-873-3634. We'll have snacks and a drawing for a $100 gift card to Publix. I hope to see you at Strive.
All right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's return now to Carol Ann Baldwin. This is the show she does each Tuesday for an hour. So we've got a full half hour left, or 25 minutes anyway. The number, if you want to be on, is 622-9622. Let's go back to Carol Ann Baldwin. And We're still kind of enjoying the banana.
I ate mine. I don't know about you, but I had mine.
I know.
Good.
I was busy
He's
trying
sitting there
to
playing with other stuff.
No, I'm trying to post the pictures on the thing on the Facebook thing. So there was another thing I wanted to show and tell with you.
Okay.
It was the flower that I posted on on the Facebook page.
Facebook. Right. Yeah. The cannas.
What's it called?
Canna. Canna. Canna lilies.
Really?
Yeah.
Canna lily.
Yeah.
Now
And those ones are beautiful ones. If you haven't seen the Facebook one, it's like an orange and yellow.
And that was at Silver Springs.
Yeah, those are gorgeous.
And one of the things that I think happens in Florida anyway, when a park like Silver Springs becomes a state park, is it requires volunteers, and so volunteers do all that gardening now.
Right.
So it's amazing, really.
Oh yeah, and when it's something like the Silver Spring State Park, I mean, if trying to return like they did with Rainbow Springs, they had, I don't know how many years. I mean, they still have a lot of volunteers there, but where they returned most of those areas back into natural native plantings, or removed a lot of the less Florida friendly plants and things like that, making it to where it's not self-cared for, but less care needed in order for it to do well, for it to make its its own beauty on its own. So it's one of those kind of things that Silver Springs will have that same probably lengthy transition over on some of that, if that's the way they're going. I know they do have a big volunteer base in there also, and could probably use more always. I don't know of any organization that has volunteers that doesn't want anybody else, but and when you're looking at things like that, I mean, those sort of kind of care for themselves, so long as you don't mind a few blemishes here and there. Sometimes they will get a leaf rust on them, but that happens. It's if you're not going to be out there spraying and things like that, it's something you just have to realize it's going to happen. Maintenance. Plant the plants you want to grow, so long as you know what their care needs are going to be, and plant them in the right place. If you put a plant that is a more of a shade-loving plant out in the full hot afternoon sun, don't complain to me that the leaves are burned.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Or if you plant a plant that wants the full sun, and it's only getting sun in the early morning, and it's not blooming the way you want it to, more fertilization is not going to make that bloom. It needs more sun. So make sure that when you're making those selections on flowers and shrubs and things like that, that you're taking all that into consideration, as well as what the mature size is. When you buy a 1 quart or 2.5 quart plant in your local big box garden center, or even your favorite nursery, its mature size, it can be 5-10 times that size, that pot. And a lot of times I think people don't realize this when they buy it. I like to buy the small pots only because it's easier to dig holes. I'd rather dig little holes. I mean, it's just usually easier. And give the plants plenty of space. If for the first year it looks a little thin, you can always put a couple containers in somewhere just as an accent. And as the plants begin to grow up and fill those areas, look at there, you no longer need to fill those containers. You can move them elsewhere. Planting them too close together, the only thing that's going to happen with that in the long run is somebody's going to get choked out. Somebody in the middle there is just not going to thrive, because there's not going to be enough air circulation for it. There's not going to either possibly be enough water for it. The fertilizations that you're doing is not going to get everybody thoroughly enough. And then if you have an insect or disease problem with them very tight like that, it's truly hard to treat for that, or it actually makes the problem worse, again, because of less air circulation and such like that. So read those tags, do your research on the mature size, the proper lighting, the proper water needs, and then everything usually will come out on the better end of your landscape.
That's your mantra in a way, to always read directions.
It's always read the directions, even plant care. I mean, you wouldn't, Robin had her recipe, from 1976. That recipe doesn't have to change just because because it's 2017.
Yeah.
But you could do like Sonny did and go to a market and buy a mix. That all you got to do is add mashed bananas to it. They're both going to give you a quality product, but you have to read the directions on each of them to come out correctly. It's just one of those kind of things.
You do have a phone call. Let's take that call. Thank you for calling, Carol Ann, and thank you for waiting. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, my neighbor fertilized his lawn yesterday, probably without realizing that we were going to have this big rainstorm. And about 4 o'clock, we had darn close to an inch and a half of rain in less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you think he got washed out, or was that a waste of putting it down? Of course, he didn't know it was going to rain that hard because we've been usually getting just a half inches, lately. But all of a sudden, we got this tremendous downpour of a little over an inch and a half of rain, and probably less than a half an hour. Now, I was just wondering, do you think he got washed out of his fertilizer?
Yeah, quite possibly. Because
Yeah.
not only did it push it down into the soil further, some of it probably went out as runoff, because when we get water that hard and that quickly, and the ground is fairly saturated if you've been getting regular, or it just can't even penetrate fast enough, whatever's on top has to go somewhere, and that's where that's why we avoid fertilizations in the lawn this time of year, especially with nitrogen fertilizers, because of the runoff. We don't know when we'll either get a sprinkling or a frog strangler. And I mean, that inch and a half is a frog strangler, and that just, that takes anything off the surface. I mean, you figured if you had a little bit of sand on your driveway, and when it rains that hard, it's no longer on your driveway. It's gone.
Yeah.
A light rain, it might have just pushed it down a little bit. But the thing is he shouldn't put more fertilizer down. No,
it's so hard to judge this time of year what's going to happen. They call for showers, and down the block can get an inch, and you might not get anything. And it seems that right where we lived, we were like a little oasis of dryness. Where the last few weeks, we get these little half inches, and we were lucky every 3 or 4 days. So he figured he was on the safe side, but sure enough, he lays that fertilizer down, and at 4 o'clock there it came, and I mean it came. So I don't know. Do you think he should go back out and redo it, or just wait a while?
Nope. I would wait till September. Yeah, this time of year this is why I think it's Pinellas, Hillsborough counties ban nitrogen-based fertilizers from June 1st of June, I want to say till the end of September, so October 1st. You cannot buy one to put on your lawn just because of that same reason. Is because the grass can't take it up fast enough between those rainstorms. And when it does rain hard like that and we get the runoff, that's what's ending up as a non-point source water pollution. Ends up down the storm drains and into the creeks that then feed the rivers and things like that. I just saw a thing on Facebook, I think it was the other day, thanking the farmers for using less of the phosphate fertilizers, that those levels in the lakes and rivers and groundwaters that they're testing is coming back down into something more reasonable. And we as homeowners have to consider that same thing, that if he just went out and put a half pound per 1,000 square feet of nitrogen, just say he follow directions, a quarter pound, and it washed away. He put that down on Monday. It rained Monday. If he comes back on Thursday and he does that again, and it rains like that on Friday, he's just taken that much more fertilizer off the ground into the
creating a problem.
Stormwater system.
Yeah.
And so,
well, we don't have that restriction here in Marion County, right?
No, but we don't want it either.
Well, it's kind of interesting because, we live in the water protection zone, just a couple miles from Silver Springs, that they're worried about this, that, and whatnot. That's surprising that they don't have that restriction here.
Well, I'm glad they don't, because it should be that we learn what our lawns need. And find out what's actually best for our area versus listening to commercials on television from major fertilizer manufacturers that tell us that you can use this fertilizer at any time of year. when if you go to the university sites.
A lot of the people, when I drive by, they got these businesses that come by and they're spraying this stuff. I don't know if it's killing weeds or what it's doing. I mean, I would say half of the people where I live have these services that spray all this stuff all over the grass.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just an insect killer. Sometimes it's a fungicide they're doing. Sometimes it is a liquid fertilizer, but those companies are regulated on what they can use, how much of it they can use at different times a year. When you hire a company like that, I believe everyone who is actually applying product to your lawn has to have a certification from the Florida Green Industries, and this has been law, I want to say, since 2002. I need to recertify get myself recertified, but it was in Marion County. We actually pushed it and made it a year earlier than state law required. And this is a course that they take. It's a one-day course. It's a better management, BMP, better management practices for pest control, fertilizers, insecticides, all that kind of stuff that they may be putting down on your lawn. The guy who just mows and blows, he doesn't need that. But if he picks up a fertilizer spreader, he better have that card in his wallet. Because that's the state law. Yeah.
Yeah, good information. Wow, I didn't know that.
But anybody, if you can learn what your lawn needs through the University of Florida website. You can ask the Marion County Extension Office. You can call me. You can go on the Facebook page. You can find out what it needs and what even we should stay away from this time of year.
Good topic, and the springs do look like they have made a comeback.
Right.
We saw them this past weekend. It looks really nice. All right, we do have a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery. I will give it away to you if you call me. I can only give it away to one of you, though, so I'll kind of pick and choose at random. 622-9622 if you want to be on the list here, and I'll just pick one of you, and we'll do that during the break. You will not be on the air. But you will if I answer the phone. Then you will get a $20 gift certificate to Bob Wine's. We'll be right back with Carol Ann.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, times of sun and clouds. There can be a shower or thunderstorm around during the afternoon hours, high 87 to 91. For Tuesday night, a couple of thunderstorms around early and partly to mostly cloudy skies later tonight with a thunderstorm in spots near the coast after midnight, low 74 to 76. For Wednesday, clouds and sun with a couple of thunderstorms around near the coast in the morning, then in the interior during the afternoon hours, high 88 to 92. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Say, Ocala, have you checked that big ad for Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens for this week? It's in the paper, and it's at bobwinescameliagardens.net. Here's a small sample of this week's hot deals. Bob has a nice selection of Blue Pacific Juniper. They're regularly $5.99, now 2 for $5. Sun and shade loving camellias, regularly $19.99. Now you get 2 for $30. And look for these BOGOs this week. Crepe myrtles, buy one, get one free. Perennials, buy one, get one. Fruit trees are also buy one, get one. Also fragrant jasmine, buy one, get one at half price. Come on out this week and see all the hot weather deals at this huge 5-acre store. It's on Southeast 38th Street, just east of Lake Weir Avenue. And they're open daily 9 to 4 until 2 on Saturdays. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, in the same blooming place since 1952.
We all know that sound means there's going to be some need for collision repair work, and soon. What you may not know is that it's your choice where to have that collision work done, not the other guy's insurance company. Because your vehicle is much more than just transportation. It's like a family member. So don't bring it to just any chain collision center. Bring it to Lyle's Collision Service. When it comes to getting your vehicle back to 100%, you can count on Lyle's Collision Service. They're not some fly-by-night chain company. They're a family-owned and run collision center with over 33 years of experience. Working with collision repairs and vehicle restoration, Lyle's Collision only uses quality parts and doesn't take shortcuts like some other companies. They take pride in getting the job done right and in a timely manner. They specialize in insurance claims and they strive to get your vehicle back to you as soon as possible. So the next time you hear this, remember, it's your choice. And the choice is clear. Lyle's Collision Service.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952. 10 minutes before 10 o'clock, Carol Ann Baldwin is here. Have I ever told you I love the show? I just love this show.
I think you have maybe once or twice.
Just a really great spot. I'm so glad you do this. And for the listeners, maybe you don't know, I've said it a lot.
You say it often.
You volunteered. You don't get paid for this.
It's something I enjoy doing. And
wow.
And actually my employer has been, gracious enough that works my schedule to where I can do this.
We had a philosopher on the other day, and one of the things in her book was that if you drop a pebble into the ocean, it has a little ripple, but it eventually reaches every coast, I guess that's all.
Metaphorically.
Yeah, and so every life touches every other life, in other words. And so when you do this, I mean, just think about how much... talking about it.
Right, going from one person to another person to another person, because what I learned that was taught to someone who had been taught by somebody else and taught,
good point.
And then I get it, and then I take and I try to reach it out to as many people as I can tell, and if they share and forth like that, it's like you say, the ripples in that puddle.
Yeah.
So
that banana bread was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah, Larry finally ate his.
I did. Yeah, it's all right.
It's hard. Yeah.
Well, I ate it when I didn't have to talk on the air.
Right.
I can talk to you with my mouth full off the air. I don't feel so freaky, weird, whatever.
One of those kind of weird things. But no, I was going to say this book because I was flipping through it while we were on the break. Like you said, it was one came in the other day or something. How to Grow More Vegetables. It's the 9th edition, and the book's it doesn't go on sale till July 25th, so not till next week. I may try to get another copy because I would really like to have one for myself as well as give one away. So I got to see if I can get another copy so I can give this one away and not be jonesing for it, because it really has some interesting charts in it on different vegetable garden crops, the plants initially in flats, with ones that take extra long germination times, things like that. I mean, it is kind of an intensive book. It's not necessarily one for a beginner.
Oh, really?
Maybe. I mean, because in one chapter I did catch the end of one little paragraph there that says, if everybody who reads this book just did one small intensive gardening thing, that how much fun that they would learn, and how much that they would learn and how much fun that they would have. So, I mean, it's...
Is it one author, or is it like
No, it's John Jevons, or Jevon, I'm not sure how to pronounce, Jeavons, is the writer of it, and the first one of these was published in 1979 of How to Grow More Vegetables, and this is the 9th edition, so it's How to Grow More Vegetables, had an asterisk, and fruits, nuts, berries, grains, and other crops than you ever thought possible on less water than you can imagine. And so it's he says, equal modernized throughout new sections and using 12% less water and increasing compost power. So it's just planting with the phases of the moon, just a whole lot of different things. And I know, I guess if you were a beginner, this would give you a start probably on something really modern. Instead of starting out in the old school method, starting out in a new form, new variety kind of thing would give you, maybe a leg up on some things. But like I said, it really looks to be an interesting. Give me something to read here over the next couple of days, so that maybe I'll be able to part with it.
Will we see John Jevons coming on your show anytime soon?
We may try to get him on just so that maybe I can get another copy. And I have not visited his website, but it does have a website, growbiointensive.org. So if anybody, I just haven't had the opportunity yet to take a look at that, because I just saw it today, but I think I'll look at that this afternoon too when I get home.
Do you think, we've had the discussion about organic food, organic vegetables.
Right.
My question to you is, do you think they're worth the value? In other words, they cost so much more than the non-organic. Do you think it's worth it?
It's hard to put a dollar on what value. I mean, like I said, I don't want it to sound like it doesn't. To me, I don't see that much difference in flavor or quality, one way or the other.
Right.
I would rather see not necessarily organic, but more just pesticide free, maybe lesser. How do you word that? Let more clean become the norm versus the exception. To return back to some of the things that that we didn't have to, that we didn't spray before and things like that. Just go back to, some of that kind of thing. And I think they have in a bit. I mean, when you start to hear more and more on advertising and things like that, and yes, it is advertising. Maybe some of it is gimmicky, that it was never an issue to begin with their crops or with their products. But they're touting more and more of this, organic or non, the non-GMO thing. Those ones make me laugh most of the time, because I'll read the ingredient list and say, well, of course it's GMO free. Not one of these products is on a list of anything that's a GMO.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah.
you're just taking and tagging on to some of that. The organic, the clean lifestyle, I guess maybe is what it is. I'd like to rather see that become a little more of the norm than the exception, to where the price is going to be the similar.
Can I tell you where the GMO came up on something I ate?
What was that?
Good and Plenty? The candy?
Yeah, the candy.
Okay, I got some. We watched a movie. I thought Good and Plenty.
Yeah.
It's a good. You hate it? You don't like it?
I don't like licorice.
Well, on the label it says may contain some GMO products.
Ingredients. Right.
Yeah.
Well, because it has sugar. And some people think sugar. I don't know if sugar cane is GMO. I know it's not.
But they have to put it on there now.
They have to
Good and
put
Plenty
it on there.
may have some.
May have, and that in the processing plant that it's manufactured in.
Probably.
May have manufactured,
yeah,
like other items that'll say manufactured in a plant that processes tree nuts and things like that, has to be put on there for those who are either allergic or just don't want that in their systems. But yeah, I mean, if you're eating candy, I mean, to me, it's what? like you laugh. I would laugh too, going, yes, I'm putting this garbage in my mouth, and I'm going to worry if it's been processed up with GMO products.
But if you have somebody in your family that is severely allergic,
GMO is different, than the allergic, But the whole may contain GMO products is just sort of going, that's kind of goofy.
Gluten free, though. By the way,
gluten free, sugar. That's another one. When you start to read some of the ingredients, it's trying to look at, and see, that was another thing that always used to make me wonder when it was kosher foods.
Right.
But now kosher foods do actually have a process and a standard, in that there is someone there in
horse
an inspection.
Meat cannot be kosher.
No.
Because the horse doesn't chew its cud or something like that. Or a split hoof or something. I can't remember what it said on it. It's in the news this morning.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well,
horse meat is. Yeah. Well, horse meat, you're not.
Well, it says Congress could authorize horse meat for dinner today.
Oh.
It could be today. Apparently, we're shipping horses to Canada and to Mexico to be slaughtered and eaten wherever. But we don't allow it here. So Congress may change that today.
Interesting. But that those are the kind of things that, at least when you're going with the kosher foods, that it's actually has been an inspection process, that it's a little different. And it covers a lot more stuff.
I love this show. I hate when it ends.
It's always end of a Tuesday.
Because it's show and tell. It's like show and tell.
It is.
And by the way, for those of you who love Carol Ann's show, you're going to love the fact, if you don't already know, that there's a Facebook page that goes with this show.
Yep.
Easy enough. It's called In the Garden. Become a member. Carol Ann will say, come on in.
You're welcome aboard.
Just don't sell anything.
Right. Or at least ask me first.
Yeah. Has anybody asked you, can I sell something?
No. So, but that's all right.
If we write that children's book about the...
We would put that on.
Put the garden on my table?
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Carol Ann.
Thanks, Larry.
We hope you recover completely from your gallbladder surgery.
I should be all set.
Yeah, don't sneeze
No.
for a week.
No.
Give yourself about a week before your next sneeze.
All righty.
We'll be right back. Matt Gibbs is up next. Auto repair with personal care.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370.